Will there be a primary challenger for New York's Governor Cuomo? We don't know for sure yet, but we are getting some interesting insight into the possibility. And this is coming from our TYT Politics reporter, Nomiki Konst, who got to spend a day with Bill de Blasio of New York City. And he had something interesting to say about it. Let's listen.
What if someone decided they were going to run against him? They were progressive. What would you do?
I think there will be a Democratic primary. I've always thought there'd be a Democratic primary, and I think it'll be spirited because there's a lot of issues that have to be discussed.
It's early.
Yeah, it's early still in the scheme of things. No, I'm just saying I don't think this is over. I think inevitably there will be a progressive challenge because of what's going on in the country, what's going on in the party, and what's going on in the state. And I think a lot of people want to ask some tough questions and want there to be that debate. I believe there will be a debate over the future of the party in the state. And I don't think the fact that it's been quiet up to now means that's all there is to it.
So that wound up being huge news in New York, and great work by Nomiki Konst. She's actually the first reporter we hired when we did the investigative reporter fundraising powered by our audience. And so New York Post has now picked it up, talked about it, many other outlets have. And in fact, Andrew Cuomo was asked about it in a press conference, and he already had to react to it. And they asked him, now look, all of a sudden de Blasio for the first time is saying that you likely will get a primary challenger. How do you feel about that? And do you think that perhaps de Blasio is behind Cynthia Nixon considering a run? She's an actress and a progressive activist and has recently spoken out against Cuomo. We'll get to that in a second. And Cuomo responded, I think it was probably either the mayor of New York or Vladimir Putin, and then chuckled, according to the New York Times. So, okay, nice little Putin reference there. But look, Nomiki asked, we got an answer. And de Blasio does not hide the fact that they don't agree, and so it appears that he's looking forward to a primary challenger for Cuomo. And by the way, Nomiki's whole interview with him is going to be up in a series form on YouTube.com/TYT Politics.
Yeah. You want to go to a little bit more of it?
Yes.
Okay, so they're going to widen it a little bit about the state of the party and the sorts of candidates that they might begin nominating in the next go-around, the next presidential election. You'll see that in this clip.
I think progressives are ascendant in the Democratic Party. I fundamentally believe the Democratic Party will nominate a progressive for president. The energy is all with the progressive side of the party. The folks who are running, the folks who are volunteering, the people who are signing up to vote, it's all coming from one place. The notion of the party as the amorphous thing it was allowed to be for so long, that's dying quickly. And I think that's very, very healthy. But I think everyone is going to be held to that standard. So anyone who thinks they can run in 2020 as a moderate or they can avoid definition is sorely mistaken.
So I think that's relevant for New York. He's not just saying that in a vacuum. He's saying all the energy is on the progressive side. Wink, wink, somebody might want to run as a progressive against Cuomo, but also very relevant at the national level. And I think his assessment of that is exactly right. I don't think, some might say that it's self-serving because he's on the progressive side, but I don't think so. And I think he has correctly assessed that's where all the energy is. I recently talked to a congressional candidate. They actually have a lot of Obama volunteers and a lot of Bernie volunteers. And the Obama volunteers won't do anything because they're saying they're going to wait to see if he has a better chance of winning. Whereas the Bernie volunteers are already in the streets. They're like, where do we go? Where do we go? What doors do we knock on? Who do we call? So
but that doesn't make it, you know how you can improve his chances? By doing something.
I know, but so when they say things like energy, that is part of what they mean by that. And it's real. People are energized, they want to go tell other people about it, they want to volunteer, they want to do grassroots efforts. And eventually vote. Those guys are more energized to show up in primaries and in the 2020 election. So I think de Blasio is exactly right there. By the way, that portion of the interview in its entirety will be in a link down below in YouTube in the description box and comment section on Facebook. And then the whole series will be on TYT Politics. But one more video for you guys. If you don't remember Cynthia Nixon talking about Cuomo and why now they're asking about Nixon in their press conference with Cuomo, here's what she had to say about it back then.
Are you going to run for governor?
Look at one of us directly in the eye if you are. I'll take that. I got it. We're good.
You know, I think there are a lot of people who would like me to run. And I think for a variety of reasons, but I think the number one is education. And Governor Cuomo likes to say that, you know, we spend more per pupil than any other state, and that is actually true. But the only reason that is true is because we spend so much on the kids in our wealthiest districts, and so that evens out. And not only me, parents all across New York State. Talk to me about this.
Yeah, and there she said, people have encouraged me to run now based on partly based on Nomi's reporting speculation going all the way to the governor that de Blasio is one of the people encouraging her. They are friends, they are allies. I don't think that necessarily proves the case, but there are a lot of people who would like Andrew Cuomo primaried by a progressive, so de Blasio is not alone in that. If you want to get the whole Young Turks show every single day, become a member, tytnetwork.com/join. And once you do, you'll be saying,
you know, I'm like a smart person.
Or you might say,
I think it's weird.
Or you might say,
Oops.
no, that won't be that one. It won't be that one. It'll be great, trust me. tytnetwork.com/join.